The Pinarello F, a beautiful Italian blend of form and function, the latest in road bike technology, topped off with a beautiful paint job, and it can be yours for £14,000, which is loads. But if your dream is to own a Pinarello, it needn't cost as much as the price of a car, and to prove that, I've bought the cheapest used Pinarello I could find. Here it is. I'm going to tell you everything about this bike, including everything that's wrong with it, and also the exciting plans that we have for it. We're going to take it to some cool places, and obviously I'm also going to tell you all about this thing that's going on there as well. So here she is. It's a Pinarello Uno Carbon, full carbon frame and fork, and I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace for what I think is an absolute bargain, just 500 English pounds. But that's not all. The previous owner appeared to be having some kind of jumble sale, and also threw in a load of other stuff with it. Check this out. So in addition to the bike, he gave me this carrier bag just full of other stuff. Look at that. Wow. There's absolutely all sorts of stuff in here. There's this like toolkit, which is really useful. There's a load of spare brake pads, the original saddle, there's bottle cages, there's mini pumps, there's a mini pump on the bike, and he gave me a floor pump as well. He gave me a bike stand that I can use as well. This is like saddle bag, there's like a mini tool, loads of lights, inner tubes, brake blocks, these shoes. He gave me shoes, and they've got like Shimano SPD pedals on them, but these pedals that are fitted onto the bike, they're really, really nice spine flat pedals. So they're actually really cool. I mean, not what I'd pick, but yeah, good pedals. I feel I've done very well. I think this could well be the bargain of the century. But wait, I know what you're thinking. What's going on with that like hideous, weird stem and steerer tube thing? I think that the look of this bike is what perhaps put other buyers off, and maybe is why I got it for such a good price. I think a lot of people would look at this, think it looks weird, and perhaps not know what they're looking at, but I do know what I'm looking at, and underneath this stuff, I think that there's a really, really good bike here, and it's going to be quite easy to make this into something absolutely brilliant. And as to why it's set up like this, well, I'm not entirely sure, but perhaps the previous owner needed to be more upright. Maybe they had a bad back, or maybe they were just unfortunate enough to visit the world's worst bike fitter. Who knows? I'm just going to take this opportunity to do a quick picture for the bike vault and submit it on the GCN app. Something tells me this probably isn't going to get super nice, but no, maybe you can prove me wrong by heading over there and voting on it. I think it's super nice. So on to more of the specs of the bike. Well, as mentioned, it's full carbon frame and a carbon Pinarello Onda fork with the kind of signature, beautiful sort of flowing organic lines that Pinarello is known for. Onda actually means wave in Italian. And when buying a used sort of carbon frame, yeah, it can be a bit of a minefield. Some people are a little bit apprehensive about buying used carbon, and well, the key thing to do is to inspect the frame when you buy it. So classic signs of damage are for top tube impacts, which you will see here. This is when you fall and then the bar strikes the top tube. You can actually just turn the bar to see where it impacts, but yeah, there's no top tube impacts here. Other things are clamping areas, so where the seat post collar is. Sometimes you can get stress cracks in this area, but again, like nothing really there. Always worth checking the stays for any cracks. This bike actually has the signature sort of mono stay area here at the back of the seat tube, which is a kind of Pinarello design feature. If the bike has carbon dropouts or just alloy dropouts bonded into carbon, again, this is an area of stress, so worth inspecting the dropouts for like any little cracks, but having had a look at this, it looks pretty good. Other classic areas where you get damage are on the stays. So if they've not fitted a chainstay protector, there's a little bit of clear plastic, sort of PPF on here, but like the chain has slapped it and there is some slight marks, but for a bike of this age, that really is like minimal damage. And then also on the inside of the bottom bracket area here, when you drop the chain, that can sometimes gouge this area. So worth having a look in there to just check any damage around there. And then also just on the underside of the bottom bracket, if there is damage around there, it's usually just kind of cosmetic damage, because the bottom bracket areas on a lot of carbon bikes generally very beefed up. It's like the strongest part of the frame. So that's usually cosmetic damage, but worth checking. So the group set on the bike is kind of a mishmash of everything really. So when this bike was new, it would have come with mostly Shimano 105, and it retailed for about £2,000. And there was a Campagnolo Veloce model as well, which was a similar sort of price if you wanted an all-Italian group set. And well, the previous owners upgraded a lot of the parts, so we've still got the 105 levers at the front, but the rear mech, the chain set and the front mech are now Shimano Ultegra. Bonus. The brakes are the original Tiagra brakes. That was like a cost-saving thing, so you didn't get the full Shimano 105 group set. They kind of like cheapened you out with the lower spec Tiagra brakes, but they seem to work pretty well. And then the wheels are Shimano R500. So this was an OEM spec wheel that came with a lot of bikes of this period. So my first carbon bike was a Cannondale Super 6, and that too came with these R500 wheels. But they appear to be in sort of decent condition, and they're shod with Continental Gator Skin tyres, 25mm ones. So what am I going to do with this Pinarello? Well, I'm going to do it up and make it great again. But before I do that, I'm going to head to the airport, because I feel that this poor Pinarello hasn't had the life that was promised to it, the life that it dreamed of when it left the Pinarello factory in Treviso. Instead, it was mutilated, abused, and left to feel sad and lonely in a garage, unridden, with only a lawnmower and a stepladder for company. So I'm going to give this bike the life that it dreamed of and take it on a pilgrimage to the greatest Italian road in the world, the Stelvio Pass. I'm going to go now and see you later. All right. To the airport.